Hi, I'm Artie Griff, a recovering addict.
Hey, Artie.
I just want to say thank you, Sean, for your service. And I like to stand up because sitting, I've been sitting all my life. And it's recovery is really important to me today. It's like part of my story is like really dark, and part of my recovery is really light and loving today. So like I stand up for myself today, and that doesn't mean that I'm perfect or have figured it all out, but I have to stand up for my self-esteem and stand up for my recovery means a lot to me. And without it, I'm not alive. So I'm very clear that this is like a life-saving program for me. And it's hard to admit that sometimes for me because I'm an addict and I've come so far away, and I feel like sometimes I don't need this program. And that's when I know I need it the most for me, because the disease is very cunning and baffling, and it talks to me in my own voice, and it tells me that I've had things figured out. But like, I know how it goes when I stop going to meetings and stop reaching out and stop showing up and start getting complacent. My character defaults, I like to call them, but they're defects, but they're like my default, right? I've been doing it all my life. And sometimes we don't know what we're doing until we're like down that road at that place on that corner where I've already made like 8 decisions to get there, but I don't even realize I've done that because of this disease, right? And just the patterning and just how I operate. And so I just want to share, thank you for showing up today and being here. I don't know if they make you come, but you could be sleeping in your room like I was when I was in a place kind of similar to this. I wouldn't go to meeting. Like, I didn't want help. And so I'm glad you guys are here, because I can't keep what I have without you guys coming to hear what I have to say. And I can't keep what I have without sharing what I need to share to you guys, right? Because this program is like about unity and like one addict helping another. And the therapeutic value is without parallel. I found like I can go to all these other events and like I get a lot of love, and like there's a lot of communities I'm a part of, but they're not addicts, right? They're a little different than me. And so I have to remember like where I came from. And so, where I came from, right? Like I grew up in an alcoholic family. Just to give you a real brief history. Try not to keep too long on it. Sometimes I focus too much on my story, but I want you to know, like, I'm not terminally unique or special due to my story. Like, if your story brought you here, you probably have a problem, right? You're not in here because, you used on the weekends a little bit and had a little fun. That's how it started for me. And I was around. Well, I grew up in an alcoholic family. My mom's mentally ill still to this day. I still have a hard time with her, accepting her. It's just hard, mental illness, and I still have my own mental illness to deal with. But I'm pretty good with this program. It helps me like keep balance in all things if I work it. And my mom was just kind of abandoned me around when I was 6. Me and my brother, they took us to a foster care, and then my abusive alcoholic father got custody of us, and you know how that goes. And then I had like an evil stepmom. I was like Cinderella. I had to clean the house to go out, and so I'm like little Molly maid. I still am little Molly maid. That's why I wear a skirt, because I'm a little maid cleaning everything and like trying to make you happy and love me, right? Like, and I try to like get your approval by like being super nice and friendly and like, but like on the inside, I'm like, no one loves me. I'm different. What's wrong with me? Maybe I should just go kill myself. I have suicidal history. I've cut my arm at 12 years old over a girl. I became ward of the court at 16 because I got in a fight with my dad. I finally fought back and ended up beating him up. I was big enough to finally beat him up. And I go to jail, right? And it was just like hard growing up. When I was around 12 when I started using and having sex. I lost my virginity really young. Started going out, sneaking out, and stuffing the bed with pillows and getting away with it. I thought I was super clever and smart, right? And then I got caught and got beat up from my dad for what. Eventually, that window got shut when I used to like close it, and I was like, oh shit! And I had to like knock on the door, and that took a lot of courage because I knew what was coming when that door opened, and I deserved it to a degree, but. I was acting out for attention. I was always looking for love in all the wrong places, like the Bob Seger song. I was a class clown, always like making a funny joke. I'm really good at making people laugh, right? I'm good at like pretending like things are all right and not really talking about like what's really going on with me back in the. I didn't even know I had a problem, So you don't know what you don't know, and so yeah, I became more of the core. I went to the group home and I started helping out. I got, I was abstinent because you couldn't get drugs there. I was in Utah. They shipped me far away. And I found out I like helping people, just being like a beacon of hope to people. So recovery really aligns with that for me today because I like coming to share. I'm not nervous. If I'm nervous, then I'm in my ego and I'm trying to plan or say something and sound a certain way. And I know what the difference from ego and what is love, self-love. And ego is like, trying to act and get things, and self-will is like gimme, I want this, and very self-centered and self-seeking, and ego and love and God-centered life and like faith and trust, like all those things. When I'm practicing that, I'm just like, the sun is beautiful, I'm looking at the trees and I'm like, look at that beautiful yellow on the crane and how the clouds are, like I just see like more clearly with clarity when I'm with God and with my higher power, whatever you want to call it. I call it nature sometimes. Sometimes you're my higher power when you're sharing, right? You're my higher power to come ask me to share, right? You each hold me accountable when I don't want to show up sometimes because I'd rather watch Netflix and eat some popcorn, right? Like there's other things I'd rather be doing sometimes, but I know I show up because it's important that I come here and work my recovery and be a part of something, because I can't keep what I have with just like being complacent and stagnant. And when I was growing up, it's like I didn't really get the structure of like, and like Artie, good job, and I go by Artie sometimes. That's when I hit 11 or 12, I was like, no, I'm Art now. I'm all, once I lost my virginity, I'm a man, right? And I'm Art. And I repressed Artie. And so I brought Artie back because Artie needs love, like that little kid that I didn't get that love. So that's why I sometimes go by Artie, because those are the days I'm struggling a little bit with like acceptance, right? Self-acceptance is really key for me, like accepting, because I can't accept anything out here if I don't accept myself, I've realized. So it really shows me where I'm at when I'm like speeding or gripping the steering wheel and I'm like holding my breath, I'm not breathing, and I'm talking really fast, right? Like that's when I know I'm in self-will, I'm in fear, basically, because I'm not practicing faith and trusting in this program. And it's really easy to do, like, because I don't know why. For me, it's like up and down, it's back and forth every day. Some days I'm really practicing it, some days I'm just like doing my own thing and trying to run some shit. And it always gets me in trouble. Wait, not in like trouble with the law, but like trouble with just like not loving attitude towards myself, and just like being like harsh and like pushing myself and like hurry, let's get this done, and I'm always on to the next project, and it's like it's not about that today for me. It's like about just sitting down and being present, right? And like sitting down with my feelings and like what's really going on, and like taking an inventory and doing my step work and reaching out to my sponsees and my sponsor and picking up the calls when my sponsees call, like all these things that I don't want to do sometimes because I want to do what I want to do, really helps me grow, really. So I just want to share, like, this program has really given me so much hope and joy. And I've traveled the world now. I'm part of a Burning Man culture, and I can stay clean at all these events where people are using. The desire has been lifted. People can hand me all kinds of drugs. My heart and bubble guts are gone. Like, in the beginning it was hard. Like, I couldn't be around anybody. I was just like in my little zone, and I really had to protect myself for quite a while. It took me some time, and to let you know, like, this is a 12-step program. And I suggest when you guys get out of here is go to some meetings, find a sponsor, and get into step work, because it's really the most loving thing you can do for yourself. It's the most, I didn't even know what love was. I thought it was like having a good orgasm and like snuggling and like having a nice relationship and saying I love you, but like doing all the motions but not really feeling what love was, right? Like I didn't know, because my parents, it was like a biased love, My parents love me the best they can, and I love them. I don't resent them. A little bit with my mom, I still like have a totally accepting her. But like generally speaking, I love them, and like they are who they are. And they gave me a good set of tools to like work with. They gave me some problems to like work with, and that makes me a strong person today. It gives me courage, right? They gave me strength, because like growing up on myself, that took a lot of strength to make it through there. Like to get through what I went through. and a lot of people don't get through, like a lot of people die. And I've almost, rewinding back, like it progressed, my illness. I got back from treatment, and then I went to mechanic school, was a mechanic for quite a while, and then I started smoking weed a little bit towards the end of school. My grades started instantly going down. I was really good at staying abstinent for a little periods of time, but I was always trading like weed for alcohol, and we trade one for the other, right? And I justify and rationalize that, oh, I don't have a problem with weed, I can hold a job, But yeah, I did, I up late and late to work, like it causes some unmanageability, but I couldn't see it back then because I was in denial, and I was like, it's just pot, everyone smokes pot. It's actually legal now in California, right? Of course they legalized it after I quit. And so it's just interesting how life works like that. Is I get to see like how this story has been playing out all my life and still plays out. So it started progressing. I started using more and more and smoking every day. I became a pot grower for the club in Santa Rosa, and it was just like total lifestyle for me. And I was not like a big dealer, but people come to my door and I'm selling weed, and I sold mostly the club, but it was just like that lifestyle, and like, come, let's burn bowls. It was always like, smoke, here's a joint. And I was like, always trying to shove you a joint, because like, love me. It's another form of I want your validation. I want you to like me. I want you to, don't you see me? Because I didn't get that. And I didn't know that's what I was doing. And when I uncovered that through step work, I was like, bing, 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 bing. And it was the hugest thing for me to recognize, like when I'm acting out for that love. And so today, I have to ask, like I ask for help today. It's called humility. And I have to like humble myself because I'm arrogant and like I'm, mechanic, fix it myself. I can do almost anything myself. But that isn't the lovingest way to do things. It's nice to can you grab me that hammer? Can you, can you pass me that water over there? Oh, what are you drinking? Like get to know you, right? Like, and understand, like, what are you into? How do you pray? What do you meditate about, right? Like, what's your higher power? Oh, you don't have one? That's cool. What are you into? Is yoga, what do you workout, right? Like, these are the questions I get to ask today due to when I accept myself and not trying to push my idea onto you. Because I think I know some shit. And I do know some shit. Big deal. We all think we know some shit. But it's none of my business to push my shit unless you're asking me. Unless you're consenting, say, hey, how do you do that? And then I could show you here. This is how you put the bolt. You put some lube on there and tighten it down and torque it, right? I'm trying to show you a car job. And it's like, I'm able to do that today because of this program. I'm able to like sit back and be hell of impatient as fuck and being frustrated and be able to hold my tongue and just sit there and enjoy watching you do it, and like acceptance, right? Accept like you don't do it the way I do it, right? And accept that like you have a new way of doing things. That's like so beautiful to me, like to actually be open-minded, right? As one of the spiritual principles that I really value today is like, for me, being Mr. Know-It-All, and knowing that after coming here, I realized I didn't even know myself when I first came here. I came here so shaken, and I thought you were all lying and you didn't have any clean time, and I thought I didn't have a problem. I was like, I don't use like that. I don't have. You guys got it twisted. You guys are fucked up, because I wasn't willing to look in the mirror and say, hey, Art, what's going on, right? I wasn't able to do that until I progressed and overdosed on fentanyl-laced heroin. Woke up, I was a shooter, and I woke up on the floor. They found me on a floor, like you had to check out. Like an hour later, they found me barely breathing. They Narcaned me 5 times. I barely woke up. I didn't even wake up, actually. I woke up 5 days later, and my liver and enzymes and my kidneys were all shut down. And I woke up, and my mom was on the hospital floor. And I'll never forget the guilt and the shame I felt. Seeing my mom, the only person that was like really left in my life. I burned every bridge. No one wanted me around. I was that dude in the tree talking to himself, like walking. You've seen him. I was one of those dudes, and you couldn't talk to me. I was like, I don't have a problem. What's up? What do you want? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm fine, right? And I wasn't fine. I wasn't fine at all, and I didn't know that. I knew I wasn't fine, but I didn't know what to do about it. And so what happened when I saw my mom, that guilt and the shame, that I was like, get out of here. I don't want you here. I was just like, get away from me. What are you doing here? Because I felt so bad. And I didn't realize till later that it was her love that saved my life, really, because no one was there for me, but she was there. And they hand you those hospital, the papers to get help and go to rehab, and I always throw those in the trash. It's not my first rodeo being to the hospital and mental hospitals and jails, institutions, and death. I've been out of jail a couple times, never prison or anything, but like I was really good at getting away because I have a mental health story. So when they look me up, they're like, oh, he's got suicidal history. They see my childhood. They see all kinds of abuse with my dad, and they just feel sorry for me when the cops pull me up, my rap sheet, because I don't really have any like real charges of like. I never really got caught for most of the shit I did too. But like I mostly kept to myself. But I justified and rationalized that I wasn't an addict because I didn't go to prison and I didn't do drugs like that. And I chose to go homeless, wasn't forced to go homeless, right? All these little things that weren't really true. I'm a fucking addict to the core. I've been an addict since I was born practically. The minute they put sugar in my mouth, right, and gave me a TV remote and Playboy channel at 12 in my bedroom, fuck. I still can't put the dang remote half down. Now it's the phone, right? Same fucking thing. And I'm just sharing that to say that I'm still an addict, right? Just because I quit the drugs doesn't mean I'm not addicted to some things. And but they're healthier today, right? They don't put me in handcuffs. They don't put me in the mental hospital. They don't put me in a tree half naked talking to the birds going, like that. Like weird shit I was doing. Half of it I can't even remember because I was so high. And so basically my mom's love saved me, and that was a spiritual awakening I didn't know. So you might have had a spiritual awakening here if that you might not know yet, and you might not have hit your bottom too. You might have another bottom. You might have to keep digging. We don't know. But all I know is if you really come to this program and work it and like get involved and start holding each other's hands and like hugging people and getting people's names and numbers and like getting plugged in, like get with the herd, right? Like for me, it guaranteed me a new life, and that's like I never thought I would have a life I do today. I really am grateful. Like most days I have an attitude of gratitude, and some days I have a dickhead asshole mentality. But the thing is, what the difference is, I know what to do about it today, and I know my higher power clicks right in and says, hey, get back in your lane and focus and do something for myself. And usually it's not just for myself, it's for my community, which is go to a meeting and talk about it. That doesn't just help me, it helps whoever. It's something that you don't want to share or talk about, right? Like I can share honestly that I have HIV today, I got it clean, and I have no guilt or shame about it. And I never thought no one was sleeping with me again. And I've had tons of partners since the past few years that happened. Like I went into the rooms because that was going to take me out. I'm dirty, I'm filthy, no one loves me, no one's going to fuck me again, and all this narrative stuff about it. And I found by sharing and freeing myself, people loved me and hugged me and said thank you after the meeting for talking about that. Because there's other people that might be in here that don't want to talk about it. And that's fine. I'm not telling you to. I'm just telling you that it's okay if you need to. Because we'll love you till you love yourself. And we're not all perfect here, and some of us judge. And we all have issues. We all have egos, right? And but today I really try to leave that shit at the door when I come to a meeting. And like really be part of something that I've always wanted, which is a family, a loving family, where I can come in here and be me and not worry about hiding anything, right? Just being able to be me and just be me and not have to like make you laugh or make you cry or be a dick or just like, or whatever I'm trying to do to get a result. Like, I don't have to do that today. It's not that I don't do it, but most of the time I don't. And that's like the freedom this program has given me. And to be able to listen to somebody, like I couldn't listen worth a shit before I got here. I was always interrupting you, trying to tell you the better Burning Man story and the orgy dome and all the cool shit that I do and and I would never let you finish your goddamn sentence, right? And I still struggle with that because I still want to be loved, and but I'm able to back it down and realize when I'm doing it. And then if I'm around people that do it too much to me, I can't be around you. So I know how to set a boundary because I want someone that listens to me too, right? And I want to be someone that listens. So I share that because it's like really important to be careful who you hang around and people that like really have your best interest. Like, do they call you back when they say they're going to call you back? And like, do you leave 3 messages and they don't call you back and then they make some goddamn excuse every time, right? Like, these aren't the people that got your back, right? This is the I'm talking to myself mostly. That there's like 1,000 people in my phone. Like I got 1,100 people. They're mostly addicts in my phone now. In 7 years, this is how many people I've gained. And I can only tell you maybe 10 actually will call me back and actually like text me back and say, how you doing? Oh, I hope you're doing well. How you been? Like they'll actually say more than 2 words like, what's up? Right? You know what I mean? Very shallow. So like, it's a big fellowship, but it's a small fellowship, if that makes sense. So like, just remember, you have to put yourself out there. Like I remember when I first got here, I just used to beam to my car. I come to a meeting, beam to my car. And then like people are talking outside and fellowshipping, they call it. And I was like, oh, they're all cliquey. And I was all judgmental. I was like, oh, they're just doing their cliquey thing. I don't want to be a part of that. I'll just stay clean and do it on my, I was still kind of doing it on my own in a way, right? Because the fellowship's really beautiful. And when I was around step 9 or 10, I had another spiritual awakening where I realized like, dude, you got to get yourself in there. Like, you're not going to make friends without like beaming to my car and just kind of nodding, doing like, hey, good to see you. And then doing my own thing, right? And that's a lonely way to live, man. It really is. It's a lonely way to live. Is that my time?
You can keep going.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up in 5 minutes. I'm almost done. Yeah, so like, I just like to share that because like the step work really helped me see what I was doing there. And I was really missing out a lot of love in this program. I was staying abstinent. I was staying clean. Don't get me wrong. And my life was getting better. I was getting the car. I had the apartment now. I got a Section 8 and I got housing. And there's a lot of programs in the Bay Area. I almost pay for nothing these days because I work the system really well. I took my defect and turned it into an asset. So I don't have to work fucking my ass off like everybody else. And I'm grateful I've been able to do that and be able to travel and live a lifestyle that I want to live and do it clean and like put like part-time recovery, part-time travel, part-time sleep. And then part-time work. Like that's my job today, like 10 hours of work, and I'm pretty abundant. Like I'm able to like live with this like freedom, like walk dogs and house sit, I water, like every week's different because my clients get me to do different things, the dogs I work with. And I'm just a handyman, and sometimes I work on cars, but I don't work for a boss, right? And my clients aren't home the most of the time. So they're like, eat what you want in the fridge, make yourself at home, here's the Netflix, chilling with the dog, like kicking it with the dog, which is unconditional love, man. And unbiased judgments, like dogs are amazing, and cats, and I watched a bird one time, like like I'm doing camel walking and camel and horses up at the sanctuary with my Adi Dom community, this guru that I'm my spiritual practice, and that's been like a whole new life transcending thing for me. Just like my whole higher power awareness has definitely opened up to this like loving higher power that just loves me unconditionally and accepts me totally where I'm at. Like no matter what, the only one that doesn't is me, right? And then maybe some people around me that I chose to have me around me because I try to love people no matter what, the best I can. And this program is just so amazing. I can't tell you how grateful I am. Like I didn't even know what gratitude meant when I got here, and now I understand what it means. And it's an action word. It's not saying, oh, I'm grateful and writing a gratitude list. That's great. Don't do your gratitude list. It helps you get there. It does help you finally see like what there is to be grateful for. But like the grateful is like doing the right thing for the right reason. Like, she didn't tell me to wipe down the counters, for example, at my job today. I wiped down the counters. I took out the trash and the recycling, right? I do the extra thing, right? And it also keeps the customers wanting you to come back, right? And I'm not doing it to do that. I'm doing it because it feels right to do the extra thing for me. Because when I help others, it takes me out of my selfish, self-centered thinking of me, poor me, don't you know, give me this attitude. And when I'm helping others, it gets me into this attitude of gratitude, I call it, because it's an action of like doing the right thing. And my self-esteem is lifted, and I'm like, Art, you're amazing, thank you. And like I validate myself today. I'm able to validate myself like, Art, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you. And these are the narratives I have to tell myself every damn day, no matter how many days I have clean. And in June 18th, God willing, coming up this month actually, wow, yeah, it's June, I'll have 7 years clean due to this program. Yeah, I never thought I could get past a year, 9 months, 3 months, like complete abstinence, no dips, no slips, no weekend trips, right? No fucking beers on the side, no little ecstasy at Burning Man. Trust me, I wanted to, but I was like, I know the guilt and the shame of taking that lie and knowing I took that ecstasy, even though it's not my drug of choice, right? This is what my disease tells me. It's like I'm going to have to fucking admit it someday because I'm going to end up on my drug of choice because of that guilt and shame of trying to take something on the side and pretending like it didn't happen, right? Because I know who I am today. And so, yeah, thanks for. I'm just grateful that you guys are here, and like I see you guys like you have another chance at life sitting here. When you leave here, it's up to you to choose if you want another chance at life. Like I can't make you. I can't make you or give you. I wish I could like just dabble a wand over you and you're just gonna go out here and work the 12 steps but that's my will. God has a plan for you. I don't know what that is, but I pray as a human for this whole world to find a better way to live, whatever that looks like. If it's the 12 steps, church, finding their tribe, right? Their community where you fit in, you feel loved. And like I'm finding more tribes where I fit in and I feel loved. And I've been looking for that all my life, and I'm finally starting to own that at 7 years clean with all these artists. And like even when they're using, I can just love and accept them where they're at and not judge them and be like, oh, I'm better, or you use that, and like putting myself on a fucking pedestal. I don't do that today because I know like I'm just like you. I'm just another human. I struggle with emotions, sadness, despair, loneliness. You're not alone. You're not alone. If you think you're alone, keep coming back. If you didn't hear what you needed to hear today, there's another person that might share your story like someone did for me. And he was a beacon of hope to me, and he's out there dying out there right now. And I pray for him every day. I feel sad that he's out there because he had 7 years when he went out. So don't get it twisted. I think, I got this, right? But no, I have to keep showing up because I hear it all the time. The minute they stop going to meetings, it's almost inevitable that they relapse. So I'm going to stick with the herd. I'm going to keep coming back. I want to help you guys. I want you to help me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I hope you have some great questions. I'm grateful that you're just here tonight because that shows me that I'm not alone. I'm not alone, even though I think I am sometimes. So thank you.